People like you should be grateful we even let you through the door. He said this in front of 12 millionaire investors. Cameras rolling. Everyone is watching. What he didn't know, the woman he just humiliated owned the entire company. Welcome to Untold Chronicles, where hidden stories of justice finally come to light. Before we dive into this unbelievable story, tell me, where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments right now. And if you love seeing karma catch up with people who deserve it, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. Because trust me, you won't want to miss what happens at the end of this story. Let's get into it. Next-gen technologies. Silicon Valley. March 17th, 2025. David Chambers, Chief Operating Officer, $3,000 suit, Ivy League degree, and an ego the size of California, stood at the head of a glass conference table. 12 venture capital investors had flown in from across the country. This was the pitch that would bring in $150 million. The deal that would make David untouchable. Then the projector died. At 9:23 a.m., Tamara Johnson walked through the door. She wore her standard IT support uniform. Faded work pants. Simple cotton shirt. ID badge dangling. IT support specialist. She carried a laptop bag and had one job: fix the projector and leave. David's face twisted with disgust. Are you serious? His voice carried through the room like a whip crack. They sent you. Tamara moved calmly toward the projector. I'm here to fix it, Mr. Chambers. Just need 2 minutes. 2 minutes. David laughed. Harsh, cruel, designed to humiliate. You're costing me $2 million per minute with this incompetence. He turned to the investors like a comedian working a crowd. This is what diversity hiring gets you, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of qualified technicians, we get this. He gestured at Tamara like she was evidence in a trial. Jennifer Martinez from Apex Ventures pulled out her phone. She started recording. This was either disaster or entertainment, and either way, it was going on her private investor group chat. David wasn't finished. You know what really bothers me? People like you get hired to check some corporate diversity box. Then, when you inevitably fail, he made air quotes, we're not allowed to say anything because it might be discrimination. He walked closer to Tamara, his expensive shoes clicking against marble. Meanwhile, qualified candidates, people who actually belong in tech, get passed over because they don't have the right skin color or gender. The room held its breath. Some investors shifted uncomfortably. 2 junior executives in the corner laughed nervously. Tamara plugged in the HDMI cable. Click. The projector hummed back to life. It's fixed, she said simply. Great. David's voice dripped with venom. Now go back to whatever hole you crawled out of and let the adults finish their meeting. But as Tamara turned to leave, David couldn't resist one final performance. Wait, since you're here, let me show our investors something. He pulled up an organizational chart. 8 vice presidents. All white men except 1 woman. All Ivy League degrees. We built this team based on merit, David announced proudly. Not quotas, not diversity initiatives. Pure competence. Then he showed the IT department chart. 70% minority hires. System uptime? 94%. Industry standard is 99.9%. Complete lies. NextGen's actual uptime was 99.7%, better than most competitors. But the investors wouldn't know that. So, when people ask me why I don't support promoting unqualified diversity hires, David concluded, looking directly at Tamara, this is why. Because merit matters. Excellence matters. And sometimes the truth hurts. He smiled. You're dismissed. Tamara left at 9:31 a.m. 8 minutes. 8 minutes that would cost David Chambers everything. What David didn't know, what nobody in that room knew, was that Tamara Johnson had a secret. Stay with me. This gets good. Let me take you back 6 months. Tamara Johnson wasn't always in IT support. That was strategic. See, Tamara graduated from MIT, top of her class. Dual degrees in computer science and business. She could have worked anywhere. Google, Amazon, any tech giant. But her mother got sick. Early onset Alzheimer's. Aggressive. Expensive. For 3 years, Tamara worked flexible jobs to care for her dying mother. She built a healthcare startup's entire infrastructure while managing doctor appointments and medication schedules. She functioned on 4 hours of sleep. She sacrificed everything. The startup failed, not because of her work, but because the founders were idiots who burned through money on luxury offices instead of customers. Her mother passed away 6 months later. At 29, Tamara was alone with $47,000 from life insurance and a resume that looked weak on paper. 3 years caring for family. No prestigious job history. The tech industry had moved on. That's when she met Marcus Wellington, a 74-year-old retired venture capitalist who'd made millions in the 1980s tech boom. Marcus had been her mother's friend. He'd watched Tamara sacrifice everything for family. "Your mother told me you're the smartest person she ever knew," Marcus said at the funeral reception. He handed her a business card. "Call me when you're ready to get back to work." 3 months later, Marcus wrote Tamara a check for $500,000. "I'm investing in you," he said, "but I have one condition." Here's what Marcus proposed. Take a job somewhere in tech, anywhere. Work there for 2 years. Learn everything about how these companies really work. The politics, the decision-making, the real failures hidden behind quarterly reports. Then come back to me, Marcus said, and we'll build something extraordinary. That's how Tamara ended up at NextGen Technologies in 2023, working in IT support. See, IT people are invisible, present in every meeting but never noticed. They have access to every system, every email server, every confidential document. It's the perfect position to study a company's soul. For 2 years, Tamara watched. She watched David Chambers take credit for products his team developed, saw him bully junior employees into silence, observe him manipulate board reports to hide declining customer satisfaction. She found emails where David discussed managing the diversity problem by hiring minorities into dead-end positions with no promotion path. She documented his pattern of forcing out talented engineers who disagreed with him. She tracked everything, every night, encrypted files, meeting with Marcus every weekend. "The company's technology is brilliant," she told Marcus, "but the leadership is toxic. They're bleeding talent and hiding it with creative accounting." Marcus smiled. "Sounds like an opportunity." 6 months ago, September 2024, Marcus introduced Tamara to his network of investors, not as an IT specialist, as the founder and CEO of a new company. They raised $50 million in seed funding. But then something better happened. NextGen's board, frustrated with David's leadership and increasing complaints, decided to explore selling the company. Marcus made phone calls, lots of them. Within 3 weeks, he'd assembled a consortium of investors willing to back Tamara's acquisition. The deal closed March 1st, 2025. Tamara Johnson purchased 51% of NextGen Technologies. She became the majority owner. She controlled the board. She had authority to fire anyone, restructure everything, rebuild from the foundation up. But she kept it quiet, confidential, known only to the board and investors. She wanted to see how the company operated under David's leadership. She wanted to give him enough rope to hang himself. And on March 17th, at 9:23 a.m., in front of investors and cameras, David obliged spectacularly. Now it was 1:30 p.m. The emergency board meeting was about to begin, and David Chambers was about to learn a lesson he'd never forget. David received the email at 1:15 p.m. He smiled, probably about the projector disaster. The board wanted him to explain the IT department's incompetence. Perfect, he'd been preparing his case for why they should outsource technical support to India. He arrived at 1:42 p.m. The conference room was packed. All 7 board members. Marcus Wellington in the chairman's seat. Jennifer Martinez and Michael Chun, the investors from this morning. For others. And sitting in the corner, laptop open, expression unreadable, Tamara Johnson. David's eyes narrowed. What is SHE doing here? Marcus Wellington smiled, a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Ms. Johnson is here at my personal invitation. Please have a seat, David. David sat, confidence unshaken. Having the IT woman present would strengthen his case. Gentlemen, I know this morning's presentation was disrupted, but I want to assure you, David, Marcus interrupted quietly. We're not here to discuss IT department performance. Silence. We're here to discuss your performance. David's face flushed. Those complaints are clearly from disgruntled employees who couldn't handle professional standards. This morning, Marcus continued, you publicly humiliated an employee in front of major investors. Your comments are recorded and reviewed by our legal counsel. He slid a printed transcript across the table. David's own words staring back. People like you should be grateful we even let you through the door. That was taken out of context, David protested. I was under pressure. Marcus nodded to Tamara. She connected her laptop to the display. Financial spreadsheets appeared. NextGen's actual performance data. Customer satisfaction down 23% under your leadership, Marcus read. Employee turnover 67% annually, 3 times industry average. 3 major clients terminated contracts specifically citing your conduct. David's mouth went dry. Furthermore, Marcus continued, you've been systematically misrepresenting IT department performance. You told investors this morning their uptime was 94%. The actual number? 99.7%, higher than industry standards. Another document appeared. Budget reports showing David had manipulated numbers to keep IT salaries artificially low while recommending executive bonuses for himself. This is ridiculous. David stood up, voice rising. I've increased this company's valuation by 400%. You've done no such thing, Tamara said quietly from the corner. Every head turned. Excuse me, David sputtered. I don't recall asking for input from technical support staff. Tamara stood, walked to the screen. NextGen's valuation increased because of technology developed by engineers you forced out. Your contribution was taking credit for their work. She pulled up data. Of 12 major product innovations in the past 3 years, you personally contributed to exactly 0. David's face went from red to purple. Who the hell do you think you are? An excellent question, Marcus interrupted. He gestured to Tamara with formal courtesy. David, allow me to introduce Tamara Johnson, MIT graduate, summa cum laude, former principal engineer at 3 successful startups. Marcus paused for effect, and as of March 1st, 2025, the majority owner and CEO of NextGen Technologies. The words hit David like a physical blow. What? Ms. Johnson purchased a controlling 51% stake in this company 3 weeks ago, Marcus explained calmly. She's been conducting an operational assessment. Your performance this morning provided the final data point. Tamara pulled up the new ownership structure. Her name sat at the top. Wait, David's voice cracked. The board sold the company to an IT technician. We sold the company to someone with vision, competence, and integrity. Board member Patricia Hayes replied coolly. 3 qualities you consistently failed to demonstrate. Tamara advanced through slides. Emails David had sent. Recorded phone calls. 2 years of documented abuse, discrimination, and deliberate mismanagement. Every crime, every lie, every cruel decision. 15 slides that unraveled a 15-year career. Based on this evidence, Tamara said, voice steady and professional, I'm making immediate changes to NextGen's leadership structure. She looked directly at David. Effective immediately, you're terminated. For cause: hostile workplace behavior, discriminatory practices, deliberate misrepresentation of company performance. David couldn't speak. Your severance package is voided due to the for cause clause. Your stock options are forfeit. We'll be referring several of your actions to regulatory authorities. She clicked to the final slide. You have until 5 p.m. to clear your office. Security will escort you from the building. David tried to fight. I have contracts. I have lawyers. You're welcome to try, Marcus said mildly. Of course, that makes everything public record. The emails, the recordings, the pattern of discrimination. Every tech publication will cover it. Every future employer will find it. He paused. Or you can leave quietly. Sign the separation agreement. We provide a neutral reference. You preserve what's left of your reputation. David signed at 4:15 p.m., his hand shaking with rage. He left through the parking garage at 4:47 p.m., carrying a box of personal effects, avoiding eye contact with former colleagues watching from windows. That same afternoon, Tamara called an all-hands meeting. 247 employees packed the auditorium. "My name is Tamara Johnson," she began. "Most of you know me as the person who fixed your computer and reset your passwords. Today, I'm introducing myself differently. As of March 1st, I became the majority owner and CEO of NextGen Technologies." The room erupted. "I acquired this company because I believed it had extraordinary potential held back by toxic leadership. For 2 years, I worked in IT support, watching how this company really operated." She pulled up the organizational chart David had showed investors that morning. This morning, David told investors our executive team was built on merit. Let me share actual data. New slides appeared. Performance metrics. Our IT department, which David called underperforming, has 99.7% uptime, better than Amazon Web Services. Meanwhile, our executive team oversaw a 23% decline in customer satisfaction and 67% employee turnover. She clicked to photos and names. Maria Rodriguez, senior software engineer. Maria was told she topped out. In reality, Maria developed 3 of our most successful protocols and holds 6 patents. Maria, you're promoted to Vice President of Security Architecture. 40% salary increase. Full equity. Spontaneous applause. Maria was crying. James Chun, product manager. James proposed an authentication system that David's team rejected as too complex. "James, you're now Director of Product Innovation. We're implementing your system in Q2. More applause. One by one, Tamara promoted 12 employees who'd been overlooked or suppressed. Then she announced the real changes. Effective immediately. Blind resume reviews for all hiring. Transparent promotion criteria. Anonymous reporting system for discrimination. Mandatory implicit bias training. Salary adjustments. To eliminate pay gaps. And profit sharing. When NextGen succeeds, everyone benefits." She pulled up a final slide. A photo of her mother. "This company is built on my mother's values. She taught me that excellence isn't about where you come from. It's about dedication, integrity, and the courage to do what's right." The standing ovation lasted 4 minutes. 6 months later, NextGen Technologies announced Series D funding, $200 million at a $1.2 billion valuation. Unicorn status achieved. Tamara stood on stage at TechCrunch Disrupt, addressing 5,000 entrepreneurs and investors. Behind her, the video of David's humiliation played on massive screens. "People ask if I felt vindicated when he was fired," she said. "The truth? I felt sad. Sad that someone with so much privilege chose to diminish others instead of elevate them." She clicked to a new slide. NextGen's current executive team. Diverse faces. Multiple generations. But I feel hope when I look at what we're building now. Every person here earned their position through demonstrated excellence, not through connections or pedigree, but through what they can create and how they treat others. The audience erupted in applause. If you're a leader, ask yourself, who are you overlooking? Who has potential you haven't recognized because they don't fit your mental image of talent? She pulled up statistics about bias in hiring, promotions, and compensation. At NextGen, we proved that diverse teams don't just make companies feel good, they make companies perform better. Customer satisfaction up 54%. Innovation pipeline tripled. Employee engagement highest in our industry. She clicked off the presentation. David Chambers told me I should be grateful to be allowed through the door. He was right about one thing. I am grateful, but not for his permission. She looked over the audience. I'm grateful I had the opportunity to prove that merit isn't about where you start. It's about where you're willing to go. The standing ovation lasted 6 minutes. David Chambers applied to 27 companies, 27 rejections. His reputation, built over 15 years through aggressive self-promotion, evaporated in one morning. Meanwhile, Tamara Johnson's transformation of NextGen became a Harvard Business School case study. The lesson? Never underestimate someone based on their title, their appearance, or your assumptions about who they are. Because sometimes the person you're dismissing is the person who will change everything. This is Untold Chronicles. If this story inspired you, smash that like button right now. Subscribe and hit the bell. We post stories like this every single day. Drop a comment. Have you ever been underestimated? Tell us your story. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, your story matters. Your potential is limitless. The question is, are you ready when your moment comes? I'll see you in the next Chronicle.